You know, when you hear about another global climate conference, it's pretty easy to just kind of tune out. But what if I told you that an upcoming conference, COP32 in Ethiopia, is about so much more than just climate policy? It's actually about an entire continent ready to redefine its place on the world stage. Right off the bat, Dr. Gideon Timotheos, who's the representative president for COP32, puts it plainly. He says a successful conference will yield great benefits. But he's talking about something way bigger, way more profound than just the usual perks of hosting.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? Ethiopia's hosted major international events before, so what makes this one so special? Why is this one a game changer? Let's get into it. Okay, first things first. This is not your average conference. The sheer scale of COP32, well, it's on a whole other level.
Dr. Timotheos has been really clear on this point. Look, Ethiopia has plenty of experience with big events, but he says COP32 is a totally different beast. So let's break down exactly why.
So think about it like this. Past conferences, they were usually straightforward, focused on one main thing. But COP32, it's more like a sprawling festival. You've got the main stage, for sure, but then there are dozens of other crucial meetings and discussions happening all at the same time, each one digging into a different piece of the climate puzzle.
And all that complexity, it's not just a logistical nightmare, it's a statement. It's a huge declaration of ambition. By taking this on, Ethiopia is basically telling the world, hey, we're ready to be a major player in this global conversation.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This ambition, it's not just about Ethiopia. This is a mission for the entire continent of Africa. So when you hear them talk about continental significance, this is exactly what they mean. The success of this thing isn't just about what it does for Ethiopia. It's measured by what it accomplishes for all of Africa. And that's really the key takeaway here. Ethiopia is stepping up, not just as a host, but as a representative, as a voice for a continent that is ready to completely change the conversation. Which, of course, brings us to the most important question of all. What's the end game? I mean, if you're going to go to all this trouble, what's the one massive message you're trying to send to the rest of the world? And here it is. This is the heart of it. The core strategy behind hosting COP32 is to fundamentally change the story the world tells about Africa's role in the climate crisis. For way too long, that story has been completely one-sided, right? Africa as the continent that's most vulnerable, always the victim. Well, the mission of COP32 is to just flip that script entirely, to show the world that yes, Africa is on the front lines, but it's also a powerhouse of innovation, resources, and critical solutions. This one quote, this says everything. It's the mission statement, it's the goal, it's the new narrative that Ethiopia wants to shout from Addis Ababa to every corner of the globe. It is a powerful, powerful declaration of agency and capability. So the whole point is that the entire conference, every single speech, every side event, it's all being engineered to prove this one statement. This isn't just a talking point for them, it's a thesis they plan to prove with action.
All right, so that's the grand vision. It's ambitious. So how on earth do you make it a reality?
Well, the strategy has three main parts. First, you need airtight, coordinated planning, and that's being led by a national committee. Next, you need flawless execution, making sure the main event and all those side meetings run like a well-oiled machine. And finally, you have strategic communication to make absolutely sure that new message is heard loud and clear around the world.
And here's the bottom line, the real kicker. A well-run, successful conference isn't just about good logistics. It becomes the proof. It's the platform that gives the message its power and its credibility. A seamless event shows the world you're capable, and that capability is what reinforces the new narrative, that Africa is ready to lead.
Which really leaves us with this final thought. If Ethiopia pulls this off, this event won't just be remembered as a well-organized conference. It could actually be the moment the world started seeing an entire continent, not for its challenges, but for its absolutely essential role in building a sustainable future.